Hey, I just taught a class on the new URAR. Appraiser's Guide to the new URAR. Had about 140 folks in the class. I think it went okay. I'm going to share a couple of polls that I took with the attendees, okay? Here is poll number one. With the upcoming changes to the URAR and appraisal process, are you considering leaving the appraisal profession within the next year or two? Yes, no, or undecided. 11% said, yep, I'm out. 65% said, no, I'm going to adapt. And then 23% said, yeah, I'm not sure. So we'll see where that unsure lands. But 11% said, no, I'm out of here. I took another poll, the second poll, and again, if you're listening, you really need to jump over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button so that you can see this stuff as well. And sorry, my mouse is in the way. That's not my mouse. That's the other mouse. But nevertheless, you can see it. And for those of you listening, the question is number two. Do you currently use an iPad or a tablet or your phone, any kind of technical device to get data when you're out in the field? Do you use that? And you can see we had 125 answers, and the answer was yes. 32% said yes. 10% said I do sometimes, and 58% said nope, never, don't do it. So you know some of that 10% probably doesn't do it very often. So I'm going to say 60% of the appraisal professionals out there, 60%, aren't using anything. They're not using any technology whatsoever. Get on board with that. It will help you for when September comes. It will help you when January comes. It's going to be virtually impossible to use paper and pen out in the field with the new UAD. I didn't say impossible, but it might be impossible too. Come back and join us. We're going to talk a little bit more about this and where you can get some additional education and insight on all that's coming around the corner. Hi, this is Bryan Reynolds. You're listening to the Appraisal Update Podcast, brought to you as always by the great folks over at Appraiser eLearning. You need some education? Check us out at Appraiser eLearning. You will be glad you did. We've got lots and lots and lots and lots of courses coming out my ears now, and a lot of different educational providers that are helping us lead the educational path that hopefully you're on or should be on. Check us out at appraiserelearning.com. You can see everything we have to offer. We are coming to Val Expo very, very soon. In fact, I want to talk to you a little bit about that. But before just me, I want you to listen to what some past attendees have had to say about Val Expo. Hey guys, Bryan Reynolds with Val Expo 2024, and I bumped into Mr. Jeff Morley. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, great to be here. We appreciate it, Brian.
Tell everybody a little bit about Mr. Jeff Morley, who you are, where you're from, and what it is you do, my friend.
You bet. Well, I certified general appraiser just 2 hours up the street from Las Vegas here. I'm in southern part of Utah. Do a lot of different commercial, residential appraisal work. Also work with a national firm. Leadership role with a security evaluation, working with residential appraisers around the country as well.
Very good, very good. Now you have been on your board, or are you still on your state board?
Just concluding my second 4-year term on our state appraiser board, so it's been 8 years now that I've been serving in that capacity, and been a great experience. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for your service. And you're heavily involved with the NAA. Talk a little bit about that.
I am, yeah. So I was appointed to the NAA board of directors earlier this year, and been serving on several of the committees, the trainee committee, the membership committee, and a scholarship committee, and just really fun to see kind of at the ground level some of the real positive things that are being done with the NAA and what they're doing to help support appraisers that are working boots on the ground appraisers.
Yeah, great association, the National Association of Appraisers. Congratulations on that. So we're here at Val Expo. Talk about a little bit of the sessions that you've been in, what they've been about, and what your overall thought process is on those sessions.
Yeah, you bet. I've been looking forward to the sessions that we've had, Brian. So this morning so far we've talked a little bit about, the most recent session was kind of man versus machine, talking about appraisers versus artificial intelligence. How do those play together and what does the future look like? Obviously nobody has a crystal ball, but I think the takeaway for me is that we're going to have to embrace the technology. It's here. It can make us better if we're willing to allow it to, but it doesn't have to be an either or if we embrace what's available to us at the moment.
Yeah, and there's no question AI is a powerful tool.
You bet.
It can be very helpful in many aspects. I guess one of the big concerns a practicing appraiser might have is it going to replace us? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't see it. In fact, one of the comments that was made that really stood out to me is that all artificial intelligence is code that has been put in at the behest of some individual or person. And in the case of artificial intelligence, it's taking other humans' interactions and communications online and then synthesizing that and spitting it back out. It doesn't replace the human element, and I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I'm optimistic about the future of appraisal. I think that it's a tool that will make us better at what we do. I don't think it's going to take us over.
Yeah, I definitely think it can enhance our ability to produce more and help do tasks for us. There's no question about that. So if an appraiser's out there watching and they've been on the fence about whether or not to attend, Val Expo or another conference, and we'll talk about those in a minute, what would you say to that practicing appraiser on the fence?
I was just commenting to a friend that I come to quite a few of these, and I always had this moment at some point where I'm like, it'd be easier not to go. Maybe I should just not do it. I always do, and every time I come, I'm just invigorated interacting with peers, with people that, maybe names that I've seen online that I've not actually met face to face, dynamic people like Mr. Reynolds here. But it's really uplifting for me to interact with fellow appraisers and with clients. I just met with somebody, that I've been a client of for years, software provider, never met some of those individuals face to face, and to sit down and understand what people are doing, where they're coming from, how they're doing it, how they see the future. You just don't get that working on your own as an appraiser without the intention to come to conferences. I'd encourage people, if you want to know what the future holds and how users of appraisal services are thinking and what they see the future being, come and hear it firsthand. It's one thing to hear what somebody said that somebody else said about a topic. It's another to be here and hear it in person.
Jeff Morley, thanks so much for stopping by. Look at that camera and say, go Val Expo.
It's a pleasure. Go Val Expo.
Bryan Reynolds, Valuation Expo 2024, and I just bumped into Miss Beverly. Hi, Beverly. Tell everybody who you are.
Hi, I'm Beverly Oshing. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I am a licensed appraisal assistant.
A licensed appraiser assistant. Tell us a little bit about what that is and entails.
Well, I've completed my first set of courses with the amazing Appraisal Institute in person with my instructor, Lisa Meisinger. I actually received a scholarship, and after I completed all those tests, I was able to register with the state of Ohio, and now I'm on to my second set of classes, and I'm also able to work as an assistant to appraisers.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations, first of all. So if somebody's watching right now and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm intrigued. You talked about getting a scholarship. Tell us a little bit about what that entails, and if somebody was interested in applying for that, how can they do what you've done?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked me. This is a huge initiative that wants people, all types of people, to become appraisers. They're providing accessibility. The courses are free. The calculator is free. And if the student is willing to do the work, they can be an appraiser. They can do exactly what I've done.
Yeah. So what got you interested in this space? I mean, a lot of folks don't even know about appraising. I didn't back in the day. I kind of fell into it. What got you motivated and excited about appraising?
Well, we were buying a home. My husband and I were buying a house, and I was looking on Redfin, the app, all the time, which I actually work for Redfin now as a lead agent, and they've been very supportive of me becoming an appraiser. And when I was going through classes, I actually decided to get my real estate license since we were buying a house. And I started seeing other people in the real estate industry that are not sales agents. And I've always had an affinity for math and analytics. I have a background as a research assistant. So when I was invited to a ADI workshop, which I recommend anyone interested to attend, I jumped at the chance.
Got excited, huh?
Yeah.
So I know Miss Lisa. I didn't know you worked with her. Tell me something good and juicy about Miss Lisa.
Well, Miss Lisa, she's amazing. There's no other way to put it. She gives you the information you need. You can ask her questions. I found it admirable how much respect she had for all of her students, no matter where they're at. I applaud her. Like, she has skills as a teacher. She's a skilled instructor. I mean, I hear raving reviews about her throughout the community about her appraisal skills, but her skills as an instructor has actually molded me as a person and given me something that I aspire to in my career.
That's fantastic. Yeah, Lisa came and attended Appraiser eLearning's instructor conference. We call it ICOR, the instructor conference and retreat. I'm going to be seeing Lisa in a couple of months at the RAC conference in Texas. But let me ask you a little bit about Val Expo. What has been your experience at this conference this year?
Well, I'd like to thank Solidify, who helped me to get here and invited me to speak on a panel, which gave me a platform for people to see me, since I am in a position to work with a supervisor, which I currently do not have a supervisor. But I was very pleased that as soon as I got off stage, Josh from Valuations, he let me know there's people on the ground in Columbus, maybe I could come aboard there. I've seen some impressive companies like WP Appraisers. They're doing great things in Texas, helping appraisal trainees go from 0 to 100.
Right.
So this has been I can't put a number on the value that I've gotten from this expo.
Oh, that's fantastic. We love to hear that. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for stopping by. Look at that camera and say, "Go Val Expo."
Go Val Expo!
That's great. Thank you. Hey, Bryan Reynolds with Val Expo 2024, and I bumped into Mr. Carl Gryom. Hi, Carl. How's it going?
It's going really well.
So tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what it is you do.
Well, I'm an independent fee appraiser based in Cumberland County, Tennessee. And the reason I'm here is because when I'm at home in my office, I'm independent. I think I know what I'm doing. I have my own ideas. And coming to this convention gets me around other appraisers where I can hear their ideas, and all of a sudden I don't feel like I'm a lone soldier out there making up my own rules, or I feel like this place gives me education and competence.
Yeah. So you're not like you're on a deserted island all by yourself anymore.
Correct. Here I know I'm not. Everybody here is just like me. That we all work in our offices, we all work independently. But here, and the bonus is, to me, the leaders of the valuation industry, the people we're actually working for.
Yeah.
Right? Here I see what they really think. I'm seeing what they're up to, and I can base or even adjust my thoughts on what I'm doing, which is probably for me the most important part. Whatever I thought a month ago at home, I can come here and see other ideas and adjust.
Wow,
That's
powerful. That's very powerful. How long have you been appraising?
25 years.
25 years. Okay.
Yes.
How many conferences like this have you been to?
This is the 4th or 5th.
Okay.
But I think when I bump into an appraiser, a trainee, or someone I know, to me, this is the most beneficial thing that ever happened to me as an appraiser. All the people you meet here, the fact of the matter is, the first conference I came to, I made a relationship with the VA. 2 years later, I got to get on the VA panel.
Whoa, wait a minute. You met a representative from the Veterans Administration here at a conference.
At this conference, yes.
At this conference?
Yes, I think it was at the Flamingo at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, you're a VA appraiser.
2 years after that, right, I had to go through the process. I had to be 10 years. I had to meet their requirements.
Sure.
But I had an email thing going for 2 years. And the truth of the matter is, the day they put me on their panel, my life changed.
That's incredible. Yeah, James Hazelit's here, the chief appraiser with VA.
I've seen that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I hope you get to. That's the thing. That's the really cool thing. How back in the day before we had these opportunities, you probably would have never had a chance to meet a representative from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or VA or FHA, and that kind of makes it available here at these conferences.
Meeting the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, ACI, all the people here, meeting them in person gives you a different perspective. It helps me out. I'll feel embarrassed a little bit whenever when I have a disagreement with a management company on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Well, here they're not just on the phone; they're people. So maybe I'll go home and think, maybe I should have a little more patience.
That's incredible. That's incredible. What's been the biggest takeaway so far from Valuation Expo 24, this conference? I know we're still early in, but
I think so far, I would say it's just reinforced everything I thought. Right? I'm super happy I'm here. I'm sorry I wasn't here last year. There is value in it for me, whatever the expense is for me to come here. I believe it's a required expense for me. Yeah.
Very well said, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your story. Look in that camera and say, "Go Val Expo." Go Val Expo. You got it?
Yes. Go Val Expo.
Thank you.
Did I get that right?
You got it.
I'm sorry.
No, you were awesome.
All right,
you were awesome. Thank you. So
You had the opportunity to hear what some of your peers have had to say about their experience at Val Expo. I mean, one guy I know got orders while he was in attendance because he secured a new client on site. Wouldn't you like to do that? But there's other reasons that you might want to attend Val Expo. So let's just jump into this a little bit. Here is the website. You can go to valuationexpo.com. This is the landing page that you will see, and it tells you all about it, right? Val Expo will be August 11th through the 13th at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. We'd love to see you there. If you scroll on down a little bit, you can get more information and you can see a schedule summary, okay? And I'm gonna jump on that for a minute, but as we continue to go down, you can see some of our sponsors, and we certainly would like to thank all the continued support of the various sponsors. It allows us to do what we do. So if you're a sponsor, a special shout out to you and a thank you. I've just went down the list of a bunch of our sponsors there. You can meet most of those folks on site at the trade show. We'd love to have you there. Then we have some pre-conference stuff going on. You can see on Sunday, August 10th, we've got Hitting the High Notes and some information for lenders. And then I want to go down to August 11th. This is an opportunity. I'll be teaching the Appraiser's Guide to the New URAR. And if you haven't had that class, if you haven't had that training, I highly encourage you to take that class. It's a ton of information. We got through the entire slide deck barely. I actually volunteered to stay after class for an hour to try and answer any additional questions. And we had more than half the attendees stay after class, really almost the full hour, asking questions and commenting and opining. I think that went well. We have an opening reception that evening. Don't forget Peter. If you don't need the Appraiser's Guide to the New URAR, Peter will be teaching a valuation biased and fair housing laws and regulations class as well, so you could certainly get into that. And then we jump into the actual general session on Tuesday, August the 12th, as well as August 13th. And then we even have some post-conference education if you need some additional CE credit. So check us out. If you come, we'd love to see you. Please grab Hal, grab me, grab Jim, grab Ben, grab Jim Morrison and Karen and all the team. We'd love to say a special hello and thank you to you. You've been listening to the Appraisal Update Podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Reynolds. Until next time, happy appraising.
The Appraisal Update Podcast is brought to you by Appraiser eLearning.